Islam, Islam, Islam. Welcome to the Moorish Sense Channel. I'm your host, the host of the Moorish Sense Channel. This is your Brother Brendan Joyner-EL, Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple number 13, located at 1055 North Milton Avenue in Baltimore, Maryland. And tonight we have very special segment. As I mentioned last week, we were going to have a segment or a segment titled The Authors Series. In this specific series, the Author Series, we're going to look at literary works from published authors in the Moorish movement. And tonight we have the 13th Revelation, which was published by Sheik Clarence Prather-EL. But before we get into the 13th Revelation, we want to start our segment and start our channel off as we always do with the Moorish American prayer. Sheik Prather-EL, would you mind leading us off with the Moorish American prayer?
Allah,
Allah,
the Father
the Father
of the universe,
of the universe,
the Father
the Father
of love,
of love,
truth,
truth,
peace,
peace,
freedom,
freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah
Allah
is my
is my
protector,
protector,
my guide,
my guide,
and my salvation
and my salvation
by night
by night
and by day
and by day
through his holy prophet,
through his holy prophet,
Drew Ali.
Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Islam. I'd like to rise and give praises to Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I always want to give honor to our beloved Prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who was born in the state of North Carolina, January the 8th, 1886. I also want to give honor to the Prophet's forerunner, Brother Marcus Mosiah Aurelius Garvey. I also want to extend honors to our Supreme Grand Resurrection, the Supreme Grand Resurrection Grand Sheik Timothy Golden Dingle, hyphenated Noble Drew Ali in this era of time. I give honors as well to all our national officials, our national Grand Sheikas, Grand Sheikah T. Jones Bay, as well as her staff and the staff at 1055 North Milton Avenue, 2900 Pressman Street. That's Temple number 13, Temple number 13-2, and all the respective temples throughout the Moorish circuit. All the respective temples, all the Moorish Americans who are doing their part in this great program of uplifting fallen humanity by keeping the doors of the Moorish Science Temple of America open and teaching our people the truth about themselves, that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians. I want to also extend honors to my wife and my children. I want to extend honors to my guest tonight, my esteemed guest, who is Sheik Clarence Prather-EL, my spiritual father. And I want to thank him, for being willing to come on to our segment this evening actually, and share this literary work. So Sheik Prather-EL, before we get into the 13th Revelation, can I just give our audience a little backdrop as to how I was able to attain a copy of the 13th Revelation, and
Please.
I'll show them the cover of the copy of the 13th Revelation. All right, so I think I might have been a resurrector at that time. Um, and Sheik Johnson and I, we were talking. He was like, "Mo, you gotta get the 13th Revelation." I was like, "What is that?" He was like, "It's a work that Sheik Prather-EL just put together. He compilated. It's his literary works, and as a result of that, I requested a copy, and I made a lot of annotations in the 13th Revelation. I read it, and what I noticed with the 13th Revelation is that a lot of what you find in the record, which is the 13th Revelation, it not only parallels off with what we find in the Piscean record, as well as what we know as the Holy Bible, but it brings about clarity as to some of the not some of, but the signs and the times that we're currently living in. So I wanted to preface our audience with that. I also would like to put it out there, just like Sheik Prather and I did, or put out there prior to this segment, is that Sheik Clarence Prather-EL has asked me personally to let the viewing and listening audience know that we are accepting all questions pertaining to this topic or any topic at hand. The only thing we ask is that when the questions come based on the topic, is that we keep it presentable, we keep it respectful, and we keep it civilized. These are the things that we're just graciously requesting. The last part that I want to put out, and I know I may be saying a lot, we also have a number that if you would like to call to ask your questions, you can call, and I'm going to put that number in the chat. Um, Again, we're going to put the number in the chat for those who may have a question. And if you have any questions pertaining to what we're going to go over this evening or what Sheik Prather-EL is going to present this evening, feel free to call in to ask your questions. So the number that you can call is 443-304-7089. And I just put it in the chat. That's the number that we will be answering upon the calls that we may receive this evening. So I think I've said everything that I needed to say. Sheik Prather-EL, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so very much, Sheik, for coming on, allowing me to come on to the Moorish Sense. I appreciate that much, very much. And we're going to talk about the 13th revelation. But let me just give a little history. First of all, what we're going to be talking about is an organization that was founded in 1913, an organization that was founded to teach our people the truth about who they are identically, national, religiously, identity. And in 1928, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali founded an organization called the Moorish Sense Temple of America. Now, in this organization, the Moorish Sense Temple of America, the Prophet tells us about the end of time, the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecy, the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecy. Now, in this lesson that he had taught, and he founded this organization that was to teach our people that they were not those derogatory names that they have brought out claim since slavery. That's what this organization is all about, to teach us that we are not these people. And the consequences of us claiming to be these people is what we're going to divulge deeper into, because the month that we're currently in, this month should not exist
That's
as
right.
a people or even amongst people. And we're going to talk about the consequences of this month even existing. And I want to go to the end of time, fulfilling the prophecy. Now, if I'm going too fast, please let me know, She.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
we have in the Moorish Sense of America that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali founded a Sunday school. In that Sunday school, he allowed us to ask him a question. We were allowed to ask him a question, and one of the 101 questions that we asked him was this: what people represents the lower self? Now we're talking about, now you can imagine not knowing what the lower self is. I'm going to explain it. I know I didn't never knew anything about the lower self, but he made me conscious of we people having two selves, and one of them is a lower self. Now the lower self is a person. For an example, and I'm not talking about anyone, not degrading anyone. I'm just giving you an example what a low thought of a person could possibly be. A person that's ornery,
Mm.
a person that's evil, a person that's murderous, a person that slanders, a person that just can't see nothing but what they want to see. They can't see your side, and everything has peripheral vision.
Mm.
They can't see nothing but their side, to the point that they do lowly things, they think lowly, and they hurt. This is a people. I'm talking about a people that's in this type of condition, a people that represents lowliness, you know, that would people that represent harm,
That's right.
people that want to hurt you, lower self, low thoughts. You know, if I did something to you, You would say, "Oh, you so low, you dirty." That's the part of the lower self that's coming out. So we're going to talk about that lower self. We're going to talk about what people, and I want to keep it on the scale of a people. I'm not just talking about no one person, She. I'm talking about a people, whether
Mm.
that people be a nation, or you're going to come to find out in reading the Revelation 13 that it could possibly be a nation. We're
That's
going to
right.
talk about a mass of people that have accepted the teachings, that have accepted the fruit, the agony, the frustration of low thoughts, of being a low people. They have accepted these teachings and they tried to propagate them, they tried to teach them, they tried to make you a part of them. All of these low thoughts, try to make you, bring you into being one of them, a people as they are. So we're going to talk about that. A low people. Now let's give it some thought for a moment. Again, the question is, we asked the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the Sunday school master, as you yourself are a Sunday school master, Johnny L. We
Yes, sir.
asked, the people asked, we asked the prophet, what people that represents lowliness?
Mm.
What was there people in the Garden of Eden that represented the Lord's Son? Because I think it do make reference to they
That's right.
were cast out. So it was made more than one or two.
Mm.
And they accepted their teaching. So we're talking about a number of people. And these number of people have accepted the teaching to the point of them dying, to the point of sacrificing themselves, their children, their family, their health, their wealth. They have given all this up to satisfy, to serve this lower thought, this lower condition of living. And as a result, we're going to look at the 13th revelation and what you just said earlier, Sheik, about coming out to symbolism,
That's right.
mythology. We're going to bring our people out because all the bad things that's been taking place, happening with our people, we got to let them know that it's not all mystical. It's
Mm.
not spiritual, that there is a purpose. There is someone with a power, such as you have a power. There's someone with attributes, a character that carry out evil things, that plan evil things, even for you,
That's right.
as well as for myself.
That's right.
So we're going to talk about this people. And please keep in mind, I'm talking about this month. I'm talking about the consequences of our people accepting this month, claiming, Sheik, they claim this month. And we all know what the month is about. It's just a shortest. It came about, well, I think it was 1966.
Listen,
Say it again, Chief.
nah, I was just saying exactly what you were saying in regards to how it came about. It was a week at one point in time, then it became a month.
And it was a professor, is that right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
I mean, somebody, not a prophet, a sage, a seer, a wise man, a political man, even a religious man, but for what I understand, he was a teacher.
Yep. That's right. Yes, sir.
So he came amongst a group of people that he persuaded them to think lowly like he was thinking.
Mm.
He persuaded them to the point that we claim there. No, a lot of people are claiming this thought. Black is the thought, the desolation of thought. Black is born out of hatred for self.
That's right.
Black is a creation that has no benevolent, no warm, no merciful creator. This is what we're looking at. So at this time, Sheik, to lay the foundation for what we have to say further, for however long we're going to be on here, I would like to read the book, the document story of this people that represents the lower self. And at the end of this story, at the end of this reading of this document, we're going to find out that this is not a spook in the sky or something mystical, you're going to talk, it's going to actually say, I'm almost sure it's going to say that it's a man, make
Hmm.
reference to something of being a man
That's right.
that's doing all of these stories. And we also can talk about the symbolism, the beast, because it start off with what you have on the screen, Sheik.
Hmm.
This is a picture right here. This picture represents our forefathers, yours and mine, looking out over the water, over the Mediterranean Sea, not the Pacific
Pacific or
or,
the Atlantic. That's right.
say it again, Sheik.
And not the Pacific or the Atlantic.
Okay, what's the Atlantic, Sheik? Yeah.
You said Atlantic
Yeah, the Atlantic, what's that, the Atlantic Ocean?
Ocean. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is our people watching them come onto the shores of today, uh, Carolinas,
The Atlantic Ocean.
Virginia.
That's
Yeah,
right. Atlantic.
that's them. That's us after having been ran from Europe, from Granada, all the way, all the way to the point that we done ran out of our clothes.
Hmm.
We literally ran out of our clothes. History reflected we are great people, we are grand people, and we used to dress grand. But because we were being pursued by people that want to kill us, by that people that represent the lower self that wanted to kill us, you see us today, or let's say 1850, 60, 70, you'll see us half naked.
Hmm.
Because when you're running, you ain't got time to put on all them dress clothes. We left them back, and we come to find out during their history month that people they dress up in those clothes.
Dress up like us.
Say it again, she.
So they dress like us.
They got on our clothes.
Right.
That's exact, and put them in museums and
Right.
historical society. But they ran us out of them, but they still got them. So this is what this picture is saying right here. This is what that's saying. The 13th revelation that we're seeing this man come to us, and she can go through some of the other pictures, and we
Yes.
can go through these explorers. Yeah, there we go. There we go. What people represents the lower self? What people? You got people here that came over here that we saw. But better still, she.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go into reading the 13th revelation.
All right. I'm gonna pull it
This
up
will
right
be a
now.
little bit more plainer, clearer, hopefully, after we read it. And I'm going to read
And you can
Revelation
begin with
13
that.
out of your Holy Bible. Please keep in mind, please get your Holy Bible, but please keep in mind that your Bible may not read as mine does. I have behind me a bookshelf full of Bibles, and all of them do not read the same. Some of them are been copyrighted. Some of them are, everybody got their edition. So it may not read the same as what I'm about to read to you. But keep it in mind, the 13th revelation. We're still talking about the 13th revelation. And I'm almost sure I can expound on any changes in any version that you're reading and what I'm reading or anybody else may read. So with that said, Sheik, I'd like to start off with reading the 13th revelation. And again, this is that the picture or the symbol, the picture of the 13th revelation is what you just had up on the screen. That is the picture, the symbolism of the 13th revelation right there. Now, I read. Are there any questions or comments at this far, Sheik?
No, sir. You just have most of the Moorish American Sheik Pennington Bay said Islam Sheiks. Brother Brown Bay says lawnmowers, and then you have Sheik Taylor Harris Bay. Sheik Taylor Harris Bay says Islam as well.
Well, we're talking about the consequences. We're talking about the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecy. We're talking about the consequences of our people claiming after 1928, after 1928, when a father, a loving, dearing, kind, warm father came with everything that we could possibly need, everything that we could possibly want, everything that the Creator, Allah, gave him to give us. He came with it, and we did not accept it. And this is the consequences. You do something wrong, Sheik, there's a consequences for doing something wrong, as well as a consequence of doing something right. I think we
Absolutely.
find it in Deuteronomy somewhere. One of the records, we find the consequences of blessing or curse. We're talking about the curse of not accepting 1920, for us not teaching it according to Act 6 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaw, and the masses of our people not accepting it, not realizing, not realizing that Jesus of Nazareth, that Jesus the Messiah, that Jesus the Anointed One, said that he would pray to Jehovah, that Jehovah would send us another comforter,
Hmm.
and he would give us the knowledge of all that we need. And that comforter came in 1913, and his name is Noble Drew Ali. No matter what you think of the name, he's the name that you are going to give voice to.
So,
Noble Drew Ali. He is a prophet. A prophet is one that comes to save people, come to save nations, rather. That's what a prophet is, one to come and save nations, as Moses did when he went to Israel, as Joshua did, as even George. He wasn't a prophet, but you see, he came and saved
his people.
England, Scotland, Ireland, Germany, France
That's right.
from destruction.
That's
To
right.
the point that they're a great nation today. So we're talking about the consequences. So let me read, Sheik, please, and please remember, your copies may not read different. Your copies may read different than what mine does, but I'll read. The 13th book of the Revelator John the Baptist. Now, this is a story of John being in prison. He's in prison for just being a good man. They put him on a rock, a great big old rock, nailed him fast to this big rock on an island called Patmos. But Jesus said the body is the spirit is the manifest of soul, but soul without is manifest. And in the realm of soul unmanifest, in our thought, in other words, in thought, Jesus of Nazareth came unto his cousin John in prison, like some of you go to see your relatives in prison. And you give them comfort, you give them hope. And this is what Jesus did to John. He revealed to John the Baptist, laying there on that rock, he revealed to him that his work is not in vain. His work is not gone in vain. That he will see the end of time and the way Allah would have it be. So, again, Revelation 13. And see, could you please put the picture up? He even had a comedian put the cover. He had a comedian do a comedy about this. I think it was one of them comedians on this show. Sheik Prather-EL. Okay,
Yes, sir.
I'll read. Okay,
You
could you
want
put the cover up, please?
the first picture?
The front cover. Yes,
Okay.
sir. I'm about to read. And I saw a beast
Yes, sir.
rising out of the sea with 10 horns and 7
I'm just
heads.
waiting for it to load up. Yeah.
Say it again,
Just
Sheik.
waiting for it to load up. Yes.
We're going to talk about a little symbolism. We're going to talk about this. Can I read, Sheik?
Give me a second, yeah. It seems like it's a
Yes,
tech
sir.
issue. Give me 1 second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1 second.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let's see.
Yes, sir. Go right
Just
ahead,
load
Mom.
it back.
Right ahead, please.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. All right. And we're back on. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Sorry about that. My apologies.
Mo, you have nothing to be sorry about, Mo. You
All
have
right,
nothing at
there.
all. And I thank you for
You're
being
welcome.
patient with me.
No problem. And thank you to
And
our
again,
viewers as well. We dropped signal for a second, but we're back on. This
say
long.
it again,
Now I was letting the viewers know we dropped signal, but we're back on. We're back on. And then again, can I just say something real quick? Sheik Prather-EL?
please, please.
If you're just tuning in, we did say we have a public number that you can call as well. The number is 443-304-7089. If you want to call to give your comments, your questions, etc. Sheik Clarence Prather-EL was going over the 13th Revelation, which is a literary work that he put out a while ago, a few
In
years ago.
2018,
2018, thank you.
yes, sir.
In 2018, he put the 13th Revelation out. So if you have any questions about anything that Sheik Prather-EL was presenting this evening, please feel free to put it in the chat. Please feel free to put in the comments. We just ask for you to be respectful, be diplomatic, and to be civilized. Sheik Prather-EL, turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Sheik.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, as well as for your orders. I thank your orders as well.
Yes, sir.
Again, we're talking about fulfilling of the prophecy. We're talking about the consequences of those prophecies being fulfilled, the effects that it is affecting us. We're talking about how human spirit, how human have taken on, how evil have taken on forms, like it did during the days of in Genesis, when the sons of men saw the daughters of men were fair, and they took unto them as they would. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the consequences of us having not accepted our nationality, our own true religion, shade of skin, and everything that the Moorish Sense Temple of America teaches. Again, I read. And this picture right here represents, symbolizes what I'm reading. And these people are considered, what people are considered the lower self. It says, how many cells are the two? Name it, higher self and lower self. Okay. Revelation 13. And I saw a beast rising up out of the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads. Can you hear me, Sheik, clearly?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
With 10 diadems upon its horns, and a blasphemous name upon his head. And the beast that I saw was like a leopard. Its feet were like a bear, and its mouth was like a lion's mouth. And to it the dragon gave his power and his throne and great authority. That's a whole lot to see.
Yes, sir.
That's a whole lot to see. And all you're armed with is bow and arrows. For some reason, Allah is not there. All you got to fight with this beast is bow and arrow, maybe a spear. But that beast came with guns. So somebody don't have some protection.
Hmm.
This is what this is all saying. They saw this beast, they saw these prophecies being fulfilled, and as I'm telling you, I'm thinking it's a little too late to get scared, because as you can see, he's on the land, both feet. Verse
Verse 3.
3, okay. One of his heads seemed to have a mortal wound, but his mortal wound was healed. As any of these questions that you so care to. And the whole earth followed the beast with wonders. Men worshiped the dragon, for he had given his authority to the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like the beast? And who can fight against it? A ravaging beast. Verse 5. And the beast was given a mouth uttering haughty and blasphemous words, and it was allowed to exercise authority for 42 months. It opened its mouth to utter blasphemous against Allah, blaspheming Allah's name and his dwellings, that is, those who dwelled in heaven. Also, it was allowed to make war on the sheiks and to conquer them. And authority was given it over every tribe and people and tongue and nation. And all who dwell on the earth will worship it. And all who dwell on the earth will worship it. Everyone whose name has not been written before the foundation of the world. Let me read that again. Every name, every people, every nation whose name has not been written before the foundation of the world.
Can I add something, Sheik Prather-EL?
Please.
So I know you mentioned earlier, just for our viewers and listeners, right? You said that you have several Bibles behind you, and they may not read the same way. And you said the foundation of the world, right? Well, in the version I have right here in front of me, what's synonymous with the foundation of the world is the book of life. So I just wanted to put that out there for the viewers as well. The book of life and the foundation of the world, one and the same.
The book of life, the book of Allah's remembrance, the
That's right.
book of Jehovah's wars,
That's right.
all of these. And according to all of these true and divine records, according to all the true and divine records you can muster up, you have in your library, you can send away for, according to all true and divine record, there are no people from the foundation of the world that was ever named, that was ever described, that was ever a society that was black.
That's right.
So calling yourself black, you're excluding yourself, believe it or not, of the Bible. From Genesis, from Adam and Eve, the mother and fathers of the human family, Seth, Eden, Cain, and Mahela, all the way up to the present generation. You are excluding. This record is saying, the Revelation is saying that you are not included in the name of people and nations from the foundation of the earth. Even when Jehovah came down to the city of Babel and confused the language of the people, there still were no black people.
That's right.
Even when Jesus was got off that cross and he went to Jerusalem and they had that first convention, and it said every nation under the sun, and I think it's Acts 2, every nation under the sun was there. There is no black nation.
That's right. Speaking in their own language.
Speaking in their own language. There's no black nation. You can't find yourself even in your Bible that you say is the word of God. You tell me if to prove to you according to the Bible. And I'm showing you, I'm telling you, you read the Bible, you're reading it. Nowhere in that Bible it makes reference to you as a people. Let me read.
Slow.
I'm going to start at 8. Wait a minute. Okay, let me stop at 7. Also, it was allowed to make war on the sheiks and to conquer them. And authority was given it over every tribe and people and tongue and nation. Which are you? Which are you? The people, the tribe, the tongues of the nation. Which one are you, my brother?
That's right.
And all who dwell on earth will worship it. Everybody, and this, look at it, it's evident. Everybody that's on earth, that name has not been found in the book of life that you just read, the book of Allah's remembrance, they are worshiping. I think about when they tried to establish Kwanzaa.
Yeah, Islam. That's right.
They keep giving us that dwindling away that people are not paying any attention to because they know in their hearts. But let me continue reading. And all who dwell on earth will worship it. Everyone whose name has not been written before the foundation of the world in the book of life. and the Lamb that was slain. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. And I'm saying, if you have a mind to conceive, hear, conceive what it is that we're simply trying to do. Conceive, reasoning, thinking, willing are the actions of our soul. Reason with what I'm trying to say. Think about what I'm trying to say and restore, retrieve, get back your soul. If anyone is to be taken captive, to captivity he goes. If anyone slays with the sword must he be slain. You brothers and sisters, you got to remember, the record is talking about the Lord karma.
Hmm.
It's talking about the Lord karma. What you do to me shall be done to you.
That's right.
Not necessarily if I kill you, somebody's gonna kill me, because then we're making murderers. And the record says thou shalt not kill. But there are other ways that we pay up karma. I know I done paid up a lot. I done paid up a lot of karma knocking my toe up against this furniture
Same.
in this house and count. So it's, it's not going to be paid up that same way, but you're going to pay up for taking the life
That's right.
of another brother.
That's right.
Let me read that again. If anyone slays with the sword must he be slain. Here is a call for the endurance and faith of the sheiks and sheikesses, especially of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Yeah, can you call me back, Sheik? I'm on the air, Mo. You gonna tune in? Huh? Are you okay? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Mo. Thank you, Mo. Okay. Excuse me, family. Please excuse me.
It's love, man. Praise the Lord.
Okay, where I'm at, what I'm doing, if my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren call, I'm gonna stop and give them an ear.
That's right. Yes,
So
sir.
please forgive me for interrupting, and I'm gonna allow you to do the exact same thing.
That's right.
That's what's important. Okay, now, okay. It says, then I saw another beast which rose out of the earth. Now we got one to come out to sea, then we have another one that coming out to earth. It had two horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all the authority of the first beast in its first beast in its okay. Like a dragon, it exercised all the authority of the first beast in its presence, and make the earth and the whole inhabitants worship the first beast. That dragon is making people worship the beast. Now, the beast itself is a something that would just tell you it has no conscience, and it's going to go according to its nature and just rip you apart. And the dragon just gobbles you, just eats you up.
Hmm.
But that's going to change too, because I know that the lion and the lamb, the beast of the lion and the lamb, are going to lie down together one day. So it says Noble Drew Ali.
It's love.
Verse 13. It works signs, even making fire come down from heaven to earth in the sight of men. And by the signs which it is allowed to work in the presence of the beast, it deceives. Wow. Let me emphasize that one, Sheik. It says it deceives. It deceives. It says in the record, when Jesus left the temple, one of his disciples, Jude, came to him and said, what will be the sign of your coming and at the close of the age? So which is where we are now, the close of the age. And Jesus said, out of all the things that he said about not one stone upon another in the temple, the one thing he made point of is that he said, do not be deceived. For many will come saying, I am etc., I am etc., I am etc.
That's right.
deceiving you because they can't do the work. It says it deceives those who in the presence of the beast. It deceives those who dwell on earth, bidding them make an image for the beast which was wounded by the sword and yet lived. And it was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast should even speak. Wow.
Hmm.
And to cause those who would not worship the beast, the image of the beast, to be slain. We're talking about a beast. Also, it caused all. Here it is. Also, it caused all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave,
That's right.
to be marked on the right hand or forehead.
That's right.
A mark on the right hand or forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he got the mark of the beast.
That's right. It's law.
Okay, okay. That is the name of the beast and the number of its name. This call for wisdom. Let him who has understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number.
Hmm.
Its number is 666.
That's right.
Any questions or comments?
Any questions and comments in the chat? Again, we're asking that if you have any questions or comments to please put them free in the chat. We know that a lot has been covered just in those 18 verses of the 13th revelation. Sheik Prather-EL was breaking down the 13th revelation, specifically starting with the cover of the 13th revelation, and he's taken us through the process to get us to understand the 13th revelation as to what it is, what it truly is. Does anyone have any questions?
Well, we're going to take a moment to think about what we have read. I don't want to read through this. I want your questions. I want you to think. Some of the power, whatever it would take for you to ask something that you have the inkling of a doubt about. And if I can answer it, I will answer it, especially if it's called to this right here, especially if it's called to the Moorish science that we teach. Again, we're talking about, excuse me, we're talking about a people.
I'll ask a question.
Go ahead, Sheik.
Ask a question. So can we go back to verse 14, if you don't mind? Books in the Bible. Came up on it. Grandmother taught me the Bible, and Revelation was her a book. It became my book throughout the years. When I look at that portion, that section, so Revelations 13:14, and it says, "And deceiveth them that dwelleth on the earth by means of by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live." Can you just expound on that part in regards to that image being made just a little bit more for me? And hopefully, it gives everyone else in the chat, because we have, what I see on Zoom, on Restream right now, we have 16 people watching. And I was looking at the analytics on the other. We have about 20 on the other channel, and then about 20 on the other channel as well. So I pray to Allah that this question will give everyone enough courage, to ask their questions, to know and understand that. And I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. When Sheik Clarence Prather-EL asks, hey, does anyone have any questions? Moors, do you have any questions? Questions is what keeps him alive, and he loves to answer questions. So, this is a great opportunity to get your questions asked this evening, Islam.
Thank you very much, Sheik.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm going to answer this like this. I'm going to be as delicate as I possibly can be, because talking about this chapter alone, It's going to hurt a lot of people, but it's going to make them think. If pain, a little hurt will rise some doubt in what it is that you're doing. If pain, some hurt will make you think about what's going on in the world with you having something, but you catching hell with it. You might want to listen to what I've got to say. So therefore, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to be as gentle as I possibly can. Matter of fact, I'm going to use an analogy that's on that comes on TV. We're talking about the power. They said it works signs, great signs, even making fire come down from heaven to earth in the sight of men. Moses, look, you ever looked at, and Moses, I rarely do this, but I'm going to do it because hopefully it'll help me to convey what message I'm trying to convey. You ever look at the old Dracula movies?
So
Yeah, you looked at them all?
yes, sir.
I'm talking about them old ones back
Oh,
there
like,
from the
yes, the ones
40s.
that no, yes.
And what was the one thing that could destroy Dracula?
Well,
I mean, he got, huh?
there was two things, but one thing that I noticed was light,
Okay, what was the other?
garlic,
That
and
cross.
the cross too. Right, the cross. That's right.
Anybody that had that cross in their face, put that cross in his face, Dracula was not going to mess with because he knew who that cross belongs to.
So,
He knows that cross belongs to the dragon. And if you got that cross, that means that you one of the dragon's boys.
that's right.
And you better not mess with him.
Mm,
You better let him go. So we're talking about the people. Maybe this will shine a little light on the people. But he showed those signs, that cross, put it in a piece of wood. I've seen movies where people just got two sticks and just put them together.
that's right.
But it represents what they were representing was a power that was stronger than what Dracula had.
Mm,
And they weren't going to, and Dracula himself weren't going to mess with him. He said, you wanted his boys? Okay, I'm not going to mess with you. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to fly on with me. That's the power that they were showing amongst men. The Ku Klux Klan, and throughout 1865, 6, 7, 8, they ran, just did their thing. All did it with the power of sight, showing people, superstitious people, what the power that they had. And this is what this is demonstrating. Now, you find in the renew your covenant with Allah and break your pact with the devil, you find in that record the head, the story of the head being wounded. You find in this story that what Rome did in Europe and how the Vatican became to be
mm,
today. Looking, make your covenant, renew your covenant with Allah, break your pact with the devil, to have the full story of the dragon's head, the devil, beast being wounded, yet it was healed. And it was healed in 1929, and this is why we got the Vatican City.
Sheik Prather-EL. How would the viewing and listening audience, how would they go about getting a copy of that record?
Renew your covenant with Allah and break your pact with the devil.
Yes,
She,
sir.
I'll
Yes.
put it in your hand, and you can carry it forth, Mo. So
Praise the
let them
Lord.
have you. I'm gonna give it to you. You carry it from that point. We're asking people, the so-called Negro, Black, and Color, same thing we've been asking since 1928, to renew your covenant. Allah has always, He sent us a prophet, Noble Ali, to give us a covenant. He even said so in His law. This covenant is from Allah. Make this covenant with me. Renew your covenant with me. Break your pact with the devil, and you will have all the problems that we have. So I'll make it available to you, Sheik, and you go ahead and do what you're going to do with it.
Islam, yeah. So what I'm gonna do, as I'm putting it in the chat right now, I'm just gonna put out there. If anyone's interested in getting a copy of the record, please send an email to moorishsensemedia@gmail.com, and that way we can relay it to Sheik Clarence Prather-EL, and we'll get it set up so you can receive a copy of the record. Islam.
Again, Sheik, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you a number of them books,
All right. Yes.
number of them, and you go from that point if it's okay.
Yes. That's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the second half of your question was 15, correct?
Yes.
Um,
No, sir. 14.
14,
Yes.
by the signs which is allowed to work, presence of the beast, it is seen. Well, deception, that's what I'm just saying. Deception with that cross. The cross has no power. That wood has no power. The idol has no power. And as a result, we've been superstitious people. There are a lot of people up there in Europe, especially the masses of the people up there in Europe, they were ignorant of a lot of things.
That's
And
right.
as a result, they could anything, nighttime spooked those people out in Europe, man, because the devil came in nighttime
Mm.
and they didn't want to face him. So that's what that's demonstrating, Sheik.
Islam.
Any more questions?
Any other questions we have? Sheik B. Prather-EL, Sheik Betty Prather-EL said the cross. She mentioned the cross as well. And then we have Sheik Maurice Pennington Bay. He stated the truth is stern. So still, you can continue to go on Sheik Prather-EL if you choose to.
The truth is stern, and we got to believe in it. And more so, more so, if we got to believe the spirit of truth. When I say I'm sitting here saying these things, I'm thinking about this sheik right here, and all you young boys that are hearing what it is that I'm saying. I've lived, I've done mine, and my time is my time, but you still have time. It is stern, but you got to recognize the spirit of truth. You have to live the spirit of truth. Substitute nothing for the spirit of truth. It will preserve, protect, and heal you. Only thing that is asked of you is that with this truth, don't be like John the Baptist, nor the 120 disciples of Jesus of Nazareth. Got this knowledge, go forth into the world to teach, and instead of having the faith of Jesus, they got themselves harmed.
Slaughtered. That's right.
Don't you do that. Keep that spirit of truth, but just be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove when you go out amongst the people, because they're sitting waiting for you. And you got to go. You are destined to go into the valley of the dry bone, because we are the ones that turned the people away, that destroyed the influence of the Moorish Sense Channel of America in 1928. All them brothers and sisters out there, all of them,
Mm.
are our responsibility.
That's right.
Jehovah said, Prophet Ezekiel, can these bones live? And he said, Lord, thou know if they can live. And what did he do? Send Ezekiel right in the midst of them.
Mm.
And this is where we have to go, in the midst of, but we have to have the spirit of truth. Not to be above, below, around, over, but the spirit of truth to do this work.
That's right.
So again, we're talking about the revelations. We're talking about a people that represents the lower self. And a lower self has set up for us this record right here. This man was not supposed to be let out the ground.
Mm.
If we should have held this man, it says the devil will be in a hole in the ground in the bottomless pit for so many years, then he's going to let him out. He should have never come out. He should have no reason after 1928, after a man gave his life in willing sacrifice to teach you the truth that you are not Negro, black, colored, Afro-American. We should not be going through what we're going through now. We can't buy or sell unless we have the mark of the beast. And you know who's buying and who's selling? Those that have went up on that mountain.
That's right.
Any man or woman that you see out there that's Asiatic and in fame and in esteem of the government, you can rest assured he has been taken up on a high mountain.
Hmm.
And on that high mountain, he has seen all the world, all the pleasures of the world. And he came down bow-legged. He came down. What did he say? I've been to the
At the
mountaintop.
mountaintop, and that's exactly what I was thinking about. Sheik Prather-EL.
Oh, there's so many, all of them.
That's right.
Look at, I mean, I got there's some lessons that are not privileged to the outside, but they're lessons that I'm looking every time I turn on Facebook. They're becoming evident. People are telling you about these closed door societies,
Islam.
what they're doing behind there. If you commit yourself to them, they will give you the world.
Mm.
But we shouldn't have to have gone through that. Our brothers and sisters that claim are doing so many things when all they have to do is renew their covenant with Allah and break that pact from with the devil. And you don't have to be worried about being sacrificing your mother, your father, sister, your brother, your children. You don't have to worry about that because that's what many of them has done. We're talking about a beast. We're talking about you can't buy or sell unless you have this mark of this beast on you. And he's giving his people all kinds of wealth. He's giving his followers all kinds of power, illusional power.
Right.
It said it passes away. I think somewhere in the record it says, what is power? And it says it's illusion and it will pass away.
That's right. It's not. Power is not. It's a result of force. It's an illusion and will pass away.
So we're talking about a man that's bringing the man that has no problem with destroying a people, has no problem with looting, plundering, raping, killing people to get what it is that they have. We know all this from the stories in the South. You know how those people got all that land.
That's right.
Go ahead, Sheik.
Oh no, I just projected the image of President Lincoln on there as well because and it's no strange happenings, but I know you were mentioning the South and then President Lincoln as well. I have the image over there as well.
Oh, he came. They assassinated this man for telling you, for being his brother's keeper.
That's right.
He was assassinated for setting you free, and you don't appreciate him. You don't appreciate a man that gave his life in willing sacrifice. That you will be free, your children will be free. Because had not been for this man, you, me, our tails will still be in physical bondage. Because 15 presidents before him and presidents since him had done nothing for our people.
That's right.
So we're talking about buying and selling. We're talking about bringing this out of mythology, out of legend, and let you see that it is a man like you and I are that are causing the havoc that's going on in the world with us. A man. Let's think a moment. We're going to go to explanation of some of these pictures. And if you have your questions, I appreciate it because I can sit here all day long and speak, and I will. But you'll walk away and having got nothing. You would say, oh, he sounded good, or he didn't sound good, or I like what he said. But if you have questions about anything that we're making reference to, that's what's going to stick out in your mind, as well as anything else that is said.
That's right.
Ask your question. Timothy Dingle, Grand Sheik Timothy Dingle required us to sit and ask him questions.
Sheik is T.J. Bay. We know Sheik is T.J. Bay is Sheik is Jones Bay. She stated Abraham Lincoln born in the month of February.
Wow. Wow. That is a classic example of what people represent the higher self
Wow.
and what people represents the lower self, because there are two of them.
That's right. I just caught on.
Yeah. A perfect example. You couldn't get a more perfect example
Just
of
caught on.
what people represent both of them. One of us enslaved us,
Wow.
cut us off from being a nation, chopped down our flag, a tree, ran us throughout America till we were buck naked, ran us out of our clothes, the Union Army.
That's right.
And then there's one that gave his life. That gave his life. One that was a great emancipator, and the other one was a great pro-slaver, Abraham Lincoln. So we're gonna take a moment because I don't want to go on talk and people don't understand what it is that I'm trying to convey, what it is I'm trying to say. So I ask you a question. If you want to read it again, matter of fact,
Okay, we got one question.
question.
So it's from Sheik Prather-EL. Why is the beast speaking against Islam? That's a great question.
Mo,
And I noticed that too happening today as well.
Mo, spirits do not die. Man does not die. As long as Allah live, man live. And as long as we continue to do what we're doing, how when people pass and we don't connecting with Allah before they go or while they're here, they're going to go and come back the same way. We are this the same thing that's going on today that went on during the Crusades. Nothing short of it. The exact same thing. They wanted the Holy Land. They want this land for themselves, and
Has it
they're
ever,
willing to do. Say it again, Mo.
I said, do you think has it ever ended, the Crusades, or do you think it's still ongoing?
Mo, it's going to, yes, Mo, it's still going on. Yes, Mo.
Praise the Lord.
And it's not going to end until you and I become a people in the eyesight of Allah, as it speaks about in the book of Revelation. I think it's 7. Right? We become a people that he will say, he says, I will be your God, Allah, and you will be my people. And until then, Christianity, America is a Christian dominant nation.
That's right.
They know that they are not right. This government know. In our divine law, the prophet makes reference to said government, knowing that this is a said government, a government that is ruled by people, not by Allah's divine guidance and Allah's law. Because if it were run by Allah's divine guidance and Allah's law, we wouldn't be in the condition that we are in.
That's right.
And they're going to fight against Islam because they don't. Islam is the truth. The reason why so many people don't come together is because we're thinking that I know more than you know more than me, and I'm not going to come together with you because what I got, you going to take. If what you got is false, it's going to be taken.
Islam.
Make no mistake about it. If what I have is false, it's got to be taken because the truth must live. Islam is the peace of the world. Islam means peace. Islam is going to mean to be spread all over the world, but that's too much peace. Because this man, again, he represents the lowest thoughts. He represents conquering. He represents power. He represents murder, slander, looting. He represents all these things. He can't come out of his character. His kingdom will come down. And so he got to fight at every turn. This is why the prophet says in our prayer that he is our protector and our God. And when the time is right for all of us that are praying that prayer,
Take your time.
he's going to
Take your time, yes.
say it again, Sheik.
I said, take your time.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
Yeah, Islam.
For all of us that are praying that Moorish American prayer, we're going to get the work done.
That's right.
And this is why it's so important that we do pray to Allah, because this record, I think it is Revelation 13 said, and he conquered us. Yes, he have. He got us thinking that we're Negro, black, and color. The prophet Noble Drew came on the scene in 1928. They slammed the door shut, thinking no man could open it in 1929. But the door has been pried open every day all over America. It's just not one place, not one locale. You can find a group of more. Allah waking up people everywhere in America. And until we get there into the four corners of America and spread this gospel, we can't be mad at the way that they grew up. Most you got to excuse me, please.
All is well. All
We
is
can't
well.
be mad at them for the way, for all the understanding that they don't have or they may not have, or the way they're doing things. You got to get there and help them to make things right, answer their question, connect their dots, cross their T's. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing and thinking that they are right. But that prayer is what's going to help us win this war, because he's protected. I'm a clear evidence of all the protection that Allah has given me in the last all the time that I've been in this movement, and I'm still thankful to it. So they're against Islam, but in their hearts they know it's right because people don't realize the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States were drawn from the teachings and the writings of Muhammad,
Praise Allah.
Prophet Muhammad. The European, he got all those, he got Don Juans and all that stuff, but he looked to the Knights of Arabians to get his lessons and his blessing.
And that's in the record right here. I was looking at that earlier. I have it highlighted where you made mention of the fact of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States of America. That's right.
Our forefathers under this fed
That's right.
scribed that Constitution. George and his people were the one that signed because they were over here. They had united, and anything that unites is hard to bust up. And when they united, they became they became a brick wall, a force to be reckoned with, because they were what? United. And as a result of them being united, they're saying, look, this is our land, this is ours, we're going to keep it, and we're going to keep it going the way it's supposed to be going. And they signed their names to it. But you and I wrote that Constitution. You and I referred to the Declaration of Independence. Lincoln himself said 7 years ago, our father, his father, brought forth on this continent a new nation. He's talking about England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Germany, and Holland, the people of the United States were brought over here. We allowed to come over here. And the 16 Moors, those 20 Moors that were on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, those Moors came over here to tell us about the League of Nations.
That's right. Can I say something?
Please.
So it was something that stuck out to me about a week ago. I was talking to my wife about it. It's two words that stands out to me when you're dealing with the American Constitution as well as the Declaration of Independence. The word framers and the word adopters.
Wow.
You have individuals who are framers who framed the Constitution, and you have the adopters.
Wow.
And the question that I would like our listening and viewing audience to think about with what Sheik Prather-EL just mentioned, you have 32 Moors, 20 Anglo-Saxons, right? Which ones are the framers and which ones are the adopters? That's, you look at it. I look at it from that point of view and that perspective.
Wow.
Now, framers and adopters. An individual who frames something is the architect. They're the chief architects of it. And an adopter is one who comes after, and they take on the specific document or artifact that has already been put in place. So I just wanted to add that in. Thank you.
Thank you for that addition, Mo. That was powerful because this is what our people have to realize. The European, he's not the author of these things. These people don't have that type of mind.
That's right.
They do not have that type of mind. And I'm not taking anything from them. They will tell you themselves their history.
Islam.
So,
that's right. Can I just share one thing as well?
Please, Sheik, please.
So my cover's gone, but in 13th Revelation, you were mentioning a few minutes ago about the three ships, right? And I'm just going to take a reading, and but you can expound on it because it's your word. It says, and this is on page 2 in the 13th Revelation.
Okay.
As second paragraph, the Revelation 2 and through 16:19, after European sailors had lost countless ships at sea, and in the great ocean of the Atlantic, to Moorish so-called patriots of the sea, or sea
pirates. I think it was pirate. I think it's pirates.
Pirates. Okay, that's right. I see it right here. Pirates.
Okay.
All right, pirates of the sea, or sea monsters, as they were called. The European explorers had gathered up 20 Moors of the third and fourth generations and had them to navigate Italians and Spaniards and English explorers to the New World. And when they got to Jamestown, 20 Moors got off those ships. And when the 20 Moors touched land, 20 Negroes appeared.
Wow.
Can you just give us a little bit of insight on that?
Wow. In other words, those 20 Moors that came over here to tell us that were over here in this land that they had made, that Morocco, that the Moors had, Morocco, the country of Moors, today Morocco, they had become Moroccans. In other words, they came over here not necessarily to guide the Nina, the Pinta, and Santa Maria. But they came over here to tell us, to tell the chiefs, the Sitting Bulls and the Geronimos and the Black Hawks and the Cherokees, and they came over here to tell us that they had made peace, that they had made a peace, and that they were now nations, and that we should come into the nation as well.
That's right.
And this what, but when they got off that ship, no, slavers have, it was in their mind to make slaves out of these people because slaves was money. And as a result, 20 Moors were on that ship. And when they hit the land, when they hit Jamestown, 1619, they went directly into bondage,
That's right.
abused and misused. Didn't get a chance to tell us nothing. Matter of fact, they made us drunk. They were the ones that made us drunk. You turn more, go to your, go to your, go to your pages right quick. Let me show you.
In the
Go
record?
yes, Mo. I mean the picture where they're putting up the cross.
Okay, yes, sir. Is it because we have
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
the
That's
devil's pulpit?
Yes, sir. That was popping down. Mo, that is us right there, getting off that ship. The Indians that you see in the background. I mean, just make.
I have it up.
Got it up.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't have it. What?
That should be page. Let's see. That's on page. Well, it should be right after page 7.
Yeah, Mo. Those are those of us that allowing that man to put that cross right in our midst. They couldn't have done that, put that cross up like that, if we had got to the people. They would set on keeping this land, holding this land for themselves. And they were killing us off. Other pictures that you see in here. There's a page with Lincoln getting shot.
Yes. Going to it now. All right.
Where down at the bottom left, you see the Indian walking away from that European.
That's right.
Because he's drunk. This brother here is drunk.
Hmm.
He's highly intoxicated. So he can't tell the people, tell us over here, the Moors over here on these shores, that the Moroccan treaty had been made amongst the nation, amongst the League of Nations, amongst the Carthaginians, the Phoenicians, the people over there in West Africa. So we never got the message because right after they came, George and his boys came.
Hmm.
And look at the picture. This is in the same picture. You show the picture of the cross. I mean, look at the power. That better still. Let's go through the picture sheet.
Yes, sir. Let's start with the first one. You want to start with the first one?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Page 4.
So we got Explorers of the World. That's the first one.
Okay. Well, that one right there should be self-explanatory. England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Germany. It tells you on there how these people came over here and found this land, discovered this land, took this land, and going to put a flag up here, put their flag. They took the Moorish flag down, and they raised theirs up. England, Scotland, Ireland, Germany, France, Holland. It says on it they founded Quebec, first Englishmen. It says it right there. Discovering the New World. Can I read it, Sheik?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Explorers who sail for Spain. Explorers who sail for Spain from 1492 to 1541. Explorers who sail from England. So they got all these expeditions coming over here. And it says explorers who sail for France, 1524 to 1682. Explorers who sail for Holland. All of these are people that came over England, Scotland, Ireland, Germany, France, the people that said that we were Negro, black, and colored. And this is how the black and Negro and colored is Latin, because they the ones the people of this country, they're the ones that named who we were, black.
Islam.
They put the marks they put on us to put us in slavery. And they're over here today. And it's surprising me today how people, it hurts me every time I hear my people proud of boasting of going to these countries for vacation. And they don't seem to realize the history of these people,
Mm.
of these countries, how they were part of slavery. Now, the next page on page 4 with a picture, yeah, that's it, Mo. Mo, this is the Vatican. This is the Vatican Rome. This is 1865 when Pope, what was it, Pope Leo, I think it
Oh,
is.
Leo, yes.
Is it Pope Leo? I mean, this man sent money
Yeah. Yeah.
over to America, to the Confederates, to keep us in bondage, keep us in slavery. We burned the cotton bales down in the South, and they didn't have any money to raise money to pay their armies because the army started to desert. This is Confederate. So Pope Leo, he just sends a boatload of money, gold, diamonds, jewelry, over here to help the bondage effort. And you can see all the spirit. I don't say these things. You read this in their history. You read this in the Vatican history. You read this in the history of Rome. Their history said this. And look at the picture itself, man. If you go and look at the picture, you see all those demons, all those demon spirits that the 13th Revelation brings us out of. You
Sure.
even see a man in there. But before you see the man, you see hideous creatures, trying to put fear in you. And the picture below that is Constantine. Said, by this sign you shall conquer. What is the clearest sign that I see? I'm not talking about the ankh. I'm talking about that sword
Mm.
that's in his hand, that's cutting lives, that's killing mercilessly, bloodthirsty. And anybody that didn't comply, the third picture, they were impaled. They got the idea of impaling people, first of all, by the head. And I'm talking about the dominant people in this country today, the dominant religious people in this country today. This is their work. I don't say that. All this came out of their records, their books that they wrote. I didn't write any of this, nor did I fabricate it. This is their work.
And that was
Okay.
Pope Pius, GS.
Was it Pope Pius?
Pope Pius the Ninth, yes, sir. Because
Hey,
he wrote the letter to Jefferson Davis, the Confederate.
okay.
Confederate, yeah,
Okay.
Pius.
Thank you, Sheik. Thank you very much for that. That's probably in here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
almost
It
sure it
is.
is, but
I just checked it over.
thank you, Mo.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much. Now let's go to the next picture.
All right. And here's
More
the next one.
I think it's in the break your pact, renew your covenant with Allah and break your pact with the devil. I think it's in there where I have a number of pictures. I think it's about 25 pictures in that booklet. And in that booklet, it talks about who was Jesus. Would Jesus stand up? Who is he? Which one is he? Out of 25 pictures, 25 different pictures of Jesus that came from literally 2,000 pictures on the internet of Jesus. I pulled 25 and asked, which one is Jesus? And for all of those that are idol worshipers, this is the result. Jesus was not the only one. When you see Jesus being crucified on the cross, you can see as plain as day, 3 people are on a cross being crucified to death. 3. And we can see that was a way of Roman execution. This picture right here is on the road out of Jerusalem, where they're lined up with people being crucified on the cross. Now, all of them, Jesus, did all of them get down? Why is the cross a symbol of a great man
That's right.
instead of murder that it is? And the next one is the one down the bottom,
Oh, my apologies.
the
Let's go.
middle one. That's another one. Who was Jesus? Was he pale skin, blue eyes, blonde hair, or was his feet like burnished bronze? Was his name Isa, Joshua,
That's right.
Joseph?
That's right.
What was his name? What was it? Because the record said that Emmanuel, I think what Prophet Isaac said his name should be angel. An angel named him Emmanuel. So what name did the angel give the child that was called Jesus? He said his name was angel was Manuel. He got Emmanuel in the book of Matthew, but then all of a sudden it said, "But he shall be called Jesus."
Mm.
Then he nicknamed the man. These are something for us to think about, and we're talking about the beast. We're talking about the beast forcing the law on us, making us adopt these images, worship these images for which we have been doing. And the same picture is the one at the bottom picture. Also depict the cross is a symbol of crucifixion, suffering, death, not a symbol of life.
That's right.
That ankh in the picture in the sky of Constantine on page 4 and is a better picture of a life. The picture when he said, "By the sign he should conquer." Yeah,
This
that's
one.
a symbol of life,
That's right.
you know. And that's an Egyptian symbol, not a Christian.
That's right.
So we're talking about Revelation 13. We're talking about bringing our people back into the knowledge of the consequences of them claiming to be Negro, black, colored, and Ethiopian. We've been there for 140 years. It's time that we should stop. You know, Moses carried the people around after he brought the people out of Egypt. He, he ran them around the desert for 40 years till them old, stubborn, stiff-necked ones, the ones that didn't want to give up at swine and smoking and all of that perversion till they died off. Well, I think we're at our 10th generation. The prophet said up until the 10th generation, and I think we're there. I truly believe that it's there because of all the things, wonderful things that I see in you young Moors, and you're a prime example in your family,
Thank you.
responsibility that you're taking on, she, a
Thank you.
prime example of curse being expired, you know, up to this generation. This generation is going to see going to see something new, especially if they keep their hearts and minds pure with love. And more, look at this. It says the devil's church. Come on, man. The devil's pulpit. Man.
Mm.
Well, we got to think for a moment more. Let's take a moment so people can think, man, get a chance to think. And family, friends, and loved ones, I'm not doing this out of slander.
That's right.
I'm doing this what Jesus said. I'm thinking that I am anyway. When the disciple Jude asked him, said, "What will be the sign of the end of time and your coming?" And Jude said, "Jesus, look at this temple." And Jesus said, "Not one stone upon another shall be all these stones shall be thrown down." And this is what's happening in that very house. All those stones are being thrown down. It's telling you, like the book of Revelation says, come out of her. Come out of that great harlot. Come out. And it tells you that the devil's church. These are books that are written. The devil's pulpit. The devil needed a host to do his job. And he go into the church and he influenced them with a little money. He influenced them with a little power. He influenced them with lust and fuss and dust. And next thing you know, they are saying everything but the truth, teaching everything. Everything. I don't care what is going on. They're teaching everything but the truth. And the devil, that's his church, and he's permitting it. He
Slow.
wants this stuff to take place.
That's
This,
right.
this is how he keeps himself going. And on page 9, Mo, the pictures again, I'm talking about the crosses. I want to emphasize this. All of these crosses that we're saying represent a religion. No, it represents a cult. It represents murder. It represents death. And that's what this is all about. And right there is evidence. Again, family, friends, Lord, I love you. Not doing this out of slander, looting. I'm just doing it out to save my people because
Right.
too much hell, they're catching too much of it. And you got it right in front of us. The bottom one has had three crosses. I can imagine one of them is Jesus, and the other two brothers, the thief and the thieves on this between him. But it's a cross. Look at the old buzzer a bit. Speaking about what is that? Kevin Ante
Yeah, mTOR. That's right.
all day long, all day long. You're gonna start with them eyes. Ain't that something? Ain't that amazing?
Mm.
That buzzer start with the eyes first, so you can't see him. You know, if you're not dead on that crawl, he go for them eyes because that's tender, it's soft, and then you can't see him to shake him to run him away. And next thing you know, he's feasting on your body. And look at our people down the bottom. Look at one at the top picture, man. The sister falling over at her some one of the brothers being crucified. Come on, man. We had enough of this today. Had enough of it. And that people you see at the bottom, who that people is
Mm.
that represents the Lord self. Then you got Lincoln being shot and more. I can't get over this picture right here. The great betrayal. The great betrayal. You know, and I've thought about this picture a lot of time, and it's high minded and all it, this man trusted Jehovah to bring him through to first of all get him through, give him the knowledge of what to do as president, give him the power and authority to be president to let the people go. I think all the time, what was he doing? What was he thinking when he knew about all the hate that was out there? What was he thinking that he put his guards down and allowed himself to be sacrificed like this? I think about that oftentimes. Mo. As a matter of fact, I have some writings that I've written about these written thoughts down. Why did he let his guards down to be sacrificed like this? You know, so and then the other two pictures down is more of these people are okay, well yeah, we can go to that one more.
So, oh, do you want to go? Oh no, no, sorry. I just noticed what you were saying. All right,
Okay.
there we go. Good.
Yeah, Mama, just look how they look what he did to William Tinsdale, all the Bible, all the strike, everybody that opposed the authorized version of King James authorized version. This is what they did to all those that opposed the authorized version of the Bible, of the King James Version Bible. They burned them to the stake. William Tinsdale, Bishop, a few others, they burned to the stake. Whenever they wrote a book,
Mm.
a Bible, whenever they came into some knowledge of the Bible and they wrote it, and it was in contrary to King James authorized version, his version was the authorized one to be taught that you could read. Anything else was a penalty of death. And that's what these pictures here represent. Them being burned to death because of the King James Version, unauthorized or authorized. And then you got over here this romance, total, to, yeah, Mo, you're right. This is Pope Pius 12.
Praise the Lord. Oh, 12? Okay,
Yeah.
it's long. I was off a few numbers.
Okay. The totalitarianism of Christianity and uh, and Hitler getting together. That's what this picture is representing. I mean, you can read all the language into it. And look at them brothers down there.
That's the
Man,
Pope right there next to him,
yeah,
right?
Mo,
Yeah,
that's the
the
Pope.
bottom.
That's right, Mo.
It's the
That's right.
Pope at that
That's right.
time. That's right.
That's right. Mo. Christianity survived, and all those brothers that claim to be Jews. You know, this is to tell the people today. You know, get yourself together, get your credentials in order. Be here in any country that you go to. Be there in order. Just don't be there. Have your credentials and so say who it is that you are, where you come from, so you won't have the problems that the so-called Jews had, the European Jews. And I'm not talking about them people. I love them like any other person. But when you disobey the law,
That's right.
the consequences of disobeying the law Every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honor not the creed and principles of their forefather, but strayed after gods that they know nothing of, gods of Europe we knew nothing of. And that's what this is all about. Pope Pius XII, the church, and Hitler.
Mm.
Then you got the boy that's in office now.
That's right.
I want to do a show on him, Mo.
Well, yes, sir. So I know we talked about doing another segment as well. So we got another segment in store for the viewers and listeners, specifically on that topic.
Yeah, Mo. I want to do a segment on President Trump, Mo. Mo, take a look at this picture. This picture was in the Pennsylvania, I think it's a Gazette, when he during his first term. Look at the picture and look at the picture we just looked at and look at this picture. But I'm going to give you another side to it. I'm going to give you the relevance of us with this. Study it in the meantime. Do you have the back copy, Mo?
No, sir. You can show it up to the camera because like I said, my copy it fell apart. I was reading it. It fell apart.
Okay. I don't know if can you see that?
Yes, they can see it. I can see it. I can see it.
I'm going.
It's clear now on my end. Hmm.
Can that be read? Is that legible, Sheik?
It's backwards, but if you want to read it so that the viewers can hear it, that's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
Well, what we're talking about is the Mediterranean Sea is in the middle, the Atlantic Ocean. We're talking about standing on a solid rock of foundation. We're talking about a lion with 7 heads, a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. And on the 10 horns, Mo, because once they get the book, they'll see what the 10 horns are. I'd like to do it that way with that.
Islam.
You said what people represent the lower self. Constant. Okay, that's pictures on the inside, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Islam.
Revelations 13, and I saw a great beast. Where it talks about coming out of the sea, talks about coming out of the earth. I'm gonna leave you, family and friends, for questions for your next segment. To pose your questions, please take some time if you're interested, if you want to know. Take some time and write these questions down so we'll notice next time. You may not have time to think now, but give yourself some time if you are interested in the times that we're living in. Note that this is the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecy. And in 1928, the prophecy was made that every man should worship on his own nationality and his own religion. The prophecy was made that the prophet Noble Drawley raised up people such as your host to teach our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know, not think, assume, but know that they are not the derogatory name that we're catching all this hell up under, that we keep seeming to forge a new measure, a new method of being black.
That's right.
We done resurrected Malcolm X. We done resurrected the Black Panther. We done resurrected every black, and we've seen the consequences of these people. And I love them no less, but I'm just trying to save you and your children. And you got to think about, especially you mothers, you got to think about all that's going on in this world about flesh.
Hmm.
This great beast is making people worship his image, and the worship of this image is to have the same sex.
That's right.
And I'm not trying to be blasphemous. I'm just trying to tell you what this beast is all about.
That's right.
He's got buildings now in reference to that. He got people that are propagating it.
That's right.
And I'm not mad at them, and I argue with them, and I love them. I'm not. argue, fight with them, none of that. But I'm going to tell the truth because they have been deceived into thinking that this is who they are. And it's affecting our children, grandchildren, and the next generation. When it's got to stop. It's against Allah's law. Why we can't see that we're being cut off, Sheik?
That's
Why
right.
we can't see we can't be we being cut off as a people? Yeah, our women are not having children. Our men are not
Having children.
having children.
That's right.
And as a result, we're dying off. And then we're gonna blame the brother over here for going out his race and nationality. We're gonna blame the sister over there for going out their race or nationality when we're cut off.
That's right. All mixed up.
All
Like
mixed up, confused as the record reflects.
confused as the mind. That's right.
Confused and deceived. So I'm gonna ask you all to think about what he said. We're gonna next time she allow me to come on, we're gonna read this again. And I pray you have your question because I'm able to answer every question almost. No, no, no. Let me just say, I'm able to explain a measure
That's right.
about all questions in regards to Revelation 13 because I mastered the book. I tried to master it because somebody needs to tell our people. I think you know, Sheik, and everywhere we go, every chance I get, man, I talk about the higher self and the lower self. When you became who it is that you are, I think even in that meeting, you were got some instruction on higher self and lower self because we need to know what we're going to face. You need to know, you need to know that that's where you're going to be. You're just not getting this stuff for no reason. You're getting it for a reason, and that is that you're going to have to confront your evils, your demons. You're going to have to confront uh, the evil of the world.
That's right.
If it's not for yourself, it's for your children.
Your posterity.
That's right, Mo, because the record clearly asks you, I'm almost sure he asked you, Sheik, because I definitely was asked a number of times, will I give my life in my will and sacrifice for my brothers and my sisters? The answer has been yes. I've tried to live that way. May it come short, but be it the will of Allah. Uh, I got one or two good people that are in my corners that are being made in the image and after likeness of my father, Timothy Dingle and
That's right.
William Rice Bay and
That's right.
other great leaders of the Moorish Sense of America here in the state of Baltimore, Maryland. So with that, Sheik, we're going to ask your audience, man. We're going to ask your audience to compile their questions, and let's get back at this.
You want to go back on next week, Sheik Prather-EL?
You tell me when, Sheik.
See, next week is perfectly fine. So that's fine. We're going to set it up so we can go to part 2 of this segment with Sheik
Sheik,
Prather-EL. Yes, sir.
can I ask you to ask you your listening audience? Can I ask them what do they have problems with asking questions? Can you ask them that? Do they have what is the problem, or do they have problems, or why they don't ask? Um, do they know these things? And if they do, will they? Why they haven't made comment? No, let's dialogue a little bit. Oh, can you ask a question, Shiga? And I'm gonna let you go.
Praise Allah. So, question that we often ask, ask your questions. I know that in previous segments, we do get a lot of feedback. We get questions at times. I guess my question to the audience is some of the information that Sheik Prather-EL he's displaying or demonstrating, is it something that you have to process and then come back to him?
Wow.
Or are these questions, or are you able to formulate a question as you listen? I know for me, and I'm just going to be perfectly honest, sometimes when a demonstration or something is presented to me, I do have to sit back for a while and I have to process it and look back. Now, I will
Thank
say
you,
this
Steve.
much. So that's the question right there.
Thank you.
I want to put in the chat if
Thank
you
you.
need time to compile your questions, just give us a 1. If you understand what Sheik Prather-EL is stating or what he's demonstrated as it pertains to the 13th revelation, just put a 2 up in the chat for us. I will say this much too, it may it may be a lot. And with that being said, too, I know for my viewers and listeners, sometimes they do go back and they listen to the playback on YouTube, even on on Facebook with the Moorish Sense Channel. So, and then go back and respond and comment on it later on. So, you know, these are the things that we are, myself and Sheik Prather-EL, that we're asking, the viewers and listeners to do, not to take the information, or not even the information, but what the lesson that was demonstrated today for face value, compile your questions, know and understand that, all questions, comments, complaints, etc., his ears are open and he's willing to, sit down and reason with you in a respectful way, in an intelligent way, so that we can
Wow.
find a resolution. So that's what
Wow.
I would like to say and add as I listen very carefully, diligently, and follow along as Sheik Prather-EL presented the 13th revelation as well as Revelations 13.
Wow. See, I know I asked Ray Man to ask that question.
That's
I
right.
know I did. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Because the people need to ask, man. I mean, it's just, they need to ask. You need to ask your question.
That's right.
So, with that said, Sheik, we're going to say a prayer,
That's right.
and I'll be seeing you back next week, and according to science, next year, according to science. And again, we're talking about the end of time, fulfillment of revelation. Question: what people represent the lower self. We're talking about 13 Revelation, talking about the mark of the beast. Nobody, you would want to know, I would think you would want to know who has that mark on them. I gave you some reference to the mark, but what is the actual mark, etc.
Islam.
May Allah bless us all and love to each other. Thank you again, Sheik. Thank
Thank
Moorish Sense Channel as well.
you. Islam. And with that being said, we're going to conclude with the Moorish American prayer.
Islam,
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 Islam.
Islam.
Family, friends, loved ones, I don't run through the prayer because I know every word of this prayer is life saving. I take my time. I try to internalize every word of this prayer. Allah,
Allah,
the Father of the universe,
the Father of the universe,
the Father of love,
the Father of love,
truth,
truth,
peace,
peace,
freedom,
freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah
Allah
is my protector,
is my protector,
my guide,
my guide,
and my salvation
and my salvation,
by night
by night
and by day,
and by day,
through his holy prophet,
through his holy prophet,
Drew Ali.
Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Peace, peace and love, brothers and sisters.